I want to turn over to the other football team. Uh, Sean Payton, man. I think as a collective, Saints Twitter came to let Sean Payton know you gotta trust my boy Jabu, man. You got to. So I think the distrust in Sean Payton was the reason that I mean not Sean Payton, the distrust in Jameis Winston uh led to a very avoidable loss. You know what I mean? Like honestly, I was like legit disgusted with what I saw. Like some of the play calling, some of the Taysom Hill in situations where he didn't need to be. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna start with Dan. Uh, what do you think? Like if because I'm trying to get into Sean Payton's head, into his mind, because there's obviously a reason for everything, right? So if I'm Sean Payton, what could be my reason for distrusting Jameis outside of his reputation of being, you know, interception prone and all this stuff, and you know what I mean? What could he possibly be the reason why he doesn't want to have just a little bit more trust in Jameis? Like if you name him QB1, let him be QB1.
And the main reason right now is just he's trying to find a rhythm in Jameis. He's trying to start him off. I don't know, man. It's hard to say. Honestly, to be real, I just think he don't want to lose a game. I mean, all this hoopla and talk about the defense being top 10 and all this other stuff, man. Like that could be the case, but you still have to play to win the game. You can't let Jameis go out there and play to not lose it. You have to turn him loose. And that being said, what is Jameis good at? Pushing the ball down the field. He throws great medium routes. Like he throws that, that 15-yard dig pretty good. The shit that Drew Brees couldn't really do on a regular basis. He can let loose a 25-yard comeback and drill it in there. Something that Drew Brees couldn't do for years. And of course, him throwing the ball down the field. Jimmy has a big arm, so Sean Payton has tailored his offense around Drew Brees. The short intermediate game, timing routes. Everything was timing. Everything was this and that. But Jameis is more of a, you know, he's good. I mean, he's a great pocket QB. Don't get me wrong, but he's really good off script, and he's real good at buying time sometimes. But and that's when he does get into trouble. But the main thing I think Sean Payton's worried about is him actually losing the game. And it's just hard to kind of find a rhythm. And I just think that Sean's not really helping him out by not letting Kamar, like, get out and do what Kamar do. You know, like
Right.
there's no swing passes, there's no circle routes. He ain't spitting them out. It's just, and the horrible play calling, man. I just don't think that it serves it right that you let Jameis throw a bomb, to Kenny Still get called back. The next play you put Taysom in, he throw a pick. He throw the ball to Deontay Harris with 5-5, a jump ball.
Right.
I didn't get that. You know what I'm saying? I'm like,
Yeah.
number one, why he even throwing the ball on 1st and 20? You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't understand. Like the logic behind the play calling, you gotta let him loose. He went 12 for 12. Let him get in a rhythm. Let him get some easy throws, and then he hit a bomb. That's all the confidence he need. And maybe it's because he don't trust Troutman. Maybe because he don't trust Callaway and getting open and being in the right spot. Maybe that got something to do with it. But Sean gotta let him go, bro. I mean, either sink or swim. I mean, you don't want to play Taysom. He beat Taysom out. You gotta let him play, even if it's for the worst, man. If we suck, hey, let's just suck for a year and go get us a quarterback. But you gotta let him
Right.
play. You gotta let him play. It's done with. He won the competition.
Yeah.
Let him go.
See, this is my thing though, because looking at it, I think in Sean's mind, and I think honestly in everybody's mind, to be real, I think he thought, okay, we know that Jameis is not gonna be able to fill Drew Brees' shoes, right? What we need him to do is to be good enough to not lose us games. So I think we went into the season with that expectation. But now that Jameis is showing not only like the coaching staff, but the fans see like, okay, this dude actually is capable of being really good. Like I think a lot of these like casual fans that kind of don't really, watch how the timeline unfold, they forget that Jameis was a first overall pick. They forget that Jameis actually was breaking touchdown records in the NFL. Like they you know what I mean? Because they let ESPN run with the narrative of, he threw X amount of picks this year, and then, that type of stuff. So this is where I'm gonna toss it to Jared, because I seen a tweet. Is from at Saints Forecast. I think Ralph Marlboro is the owner of that account, but he said, actually, my bad. Let me go back to that. He said it's strange because the offense looked like I expected, especially in the second half. He said Winston hit deep shots, looked confident, run game was pretty good, but Payton kicking decisions and huge penalty on the TD pass ruined the offense's best all around day. And I couldn't agree more. Like I didn't think about it like that, but up until that fourth quarter, I think Jameis played a pretty much flawless game. Like that was the best we looked the whole season.
Yeah,
You
with
know what I
them deep
mean?
pass, he was definitely on track for 300 yards. Easy.
That's a fact. And shout out Ross Jackson at Ross Jackson Nola. He said Taysom Hill's interception was thrown with 6:17 left in the third quarter. After that, Jameis only threw one pass until three possessions later with 6:11 left in the fourth. So that's
Doesn't
a
make any
whole
sense.
quarter. He didn't trust Jameis to do anything. Now,
And he even threw a
Jared,
pick.
right, exactly.
He was
So,
trying not to lose too much. That's the problem.
right. So this is where I ask you, Jared. I see a lot of noise on Twitter where people, obviously the media people are not gonna attack Sean Payton directly, but the fans have been doing it. How much do you think of the Breeze era was Breeze a cushion for Sean Payton? Because I feel like a lot of people look at Sean as like, one of the better coaches in the league. Are we worried about Sean? Because there's a lot of people saying fire Sean
Nah,
already. And I
that's
know
blasphemy.
that we
That's-
agree that it's way too early
That's
for that.
cap.
That's
Yeah,
blasphemy.
it's crazy. But that's what I want to ask you, because I think it's just interesting to think about. Like, these are obviously bad decisions.
Of course.
What would have to happen for Sean to get into that type of water? Like, how far away do you think he is from getting in the hot water?
I would say SP is very far. Like he would have to go below 500 2 or 3 seasons in a row for the Saints to fire him.
Facts.
Because I mean, let's face it, bro. I mean, we all expected the Saints to start off slow. Like I was hoping we'd just be one game above 500 going to the bye. That's all I was hoping, because we all know we got 6 to 7 people still hurt. I mean, you can see how much. Yeah, I mean, you can see how much not having a killable kicker can alter his game plan. Like Rosas, whatever his name is, he sucks, bro.
Fucking trash.
Right.
And you could tell, like, he surely know what to do, because he went for, what, a 47, it would have been a 47-yard field goal. He went for that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's supposed to be, anything below 50 yards for a kicker, it's supposed to be, pretty good chances to make it. You're
Especially
NFL
for
kicker.
Lust, bro.
Yeah.
Right.
So
let me ask you this, Jared. So just to give you a little pushback on your point, because I agree with what you're saying. I agree that he's very far away, but I think just looking at the record alone might be cutting them too much slack. Because I'm looking at the schedule, right? And obviously week 1, they demolished the Packers. They just looked like they outclassed them. You know what I mean? Which was unexpected for me. Like honestly, as a diehard fan, I was watching that game thinking like if this ends in a loss, I'm cool with that. They just gotta show me something. You
I
know what I
mean, we
mean?
all expected that on that game.
But then they went out and demolished them. And
Yeah.
so week 2, you lose against the Panthers. The Panthers kind of proven since that game that like, all right, they not trash. Like they actually that wasn't a fluke game. Like they actually got some talent over there.
Yeah,
So
but we had 8 people hurt. So,
yeah,
it really
and
wasn't.
and that too. And that too. So I'm cool with the 1-1. Then you following week, you beat the Patriots, which I think is a better win than it might seem. You know what I mean?
Okay.
To me, when you beat the Patriots, who were, I think, not a equal level team to us, but they are very slightly below. Like I think they're better than what people give them credit for. And to me, losing against the Giants is just unacceptable, especially in the fashion that you lost. You know what I'm
Agreed.
saying? So I think if that became a trend, which I trust Sean Payton to make the adjustment to not let that crap happen again. I think he put a little too much faith in what the defense would have been able to do, and it
Yeah.
just wasn't fair. Once they started picking on Paulson, adjustment should have been made. You know what I mean? But I think if that becomes a trend, the seat can become hot soon. Cause that's coaching, bro. Like I feel like in the past, the offense was the crutch. We could just trust that Drew Brees was gonna do what he had to do and put us in a position to win the game. And it was looking at the defense like, all right, just don't lose it. You know what I mean? Which
Mhm.
makes it a whole lot easier for coaching. So that's why I say I had to give some pushback because I think it's not the fact that he lost them games, it's the fashion that he lost it.